Welcome to Growthland's podcast, your go-to podcast for all things self-growth. Whether it's fitness, wellness, self-care, or even just real talks, I'm sure you'll get something to help you on your journey to becoming the best you. Hello everyone. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that affects us all differently, but each one of us can take something away from this, and it is getting out of your own way. It is so common as humans to get in our own way when we have something that we want to do in our lives, and we are the ones literally prohibiting ourselves to going and accomplishing those things. So we are going to deep dive into that subject today. I have 2 books I'm going to also be reading quotes from, and I got my notes, okay? That means this is going to be a real one. That means this one, you're going to want to listen to the end. You're going to want to maybe take notes and just really digest what I'm saying. I've been meaning to record this for a minute now. I was really trying to get my whole mic situation figured out because I didn't want the mic. It was playing in only one ear. It was a whole thing. Okay, I figured it out finally. So hopefully the audio sounds really good. And I am just super, super excited to be here talking to you guys. And also, if you are on YouTube right now, shooting the very first video podcast episode, okay, this is honestly a little scary. It's a lot different than, just sitting down and pressing record. I can be whatever, looking however, literally like in my bed or whatever, but now I'm sitting in front of my camera, I'm taking these videos because I'm like, why am I just doing audio if I have a whole channel where I can post this on too and reach a different group of people? So here we are. So let's get started on this episode. I know it's going to be a good one. I know you guys are going to get something out of this. So I hope that you really like this, but let's get into it. So first, our segments. Again, if you're on YouTube and you're not used to listening or watching my podcast episodes, I have a couple segments to get into before we get into the topic of the video. So the affirmation of the day, write this down if you can, or say this in your head, repeat it out loud if you're able to as well. I am fully capable of creating and walking in the purpose set before me. There is nothing standing in my way, and I am thriving towards being my best self every day. So this one I thought would be perfect for today's episode. Okay, and for the 3 questions of the day, number 1, what is one thing that you feel holds you back from your goals? And what is there that you can do to change that? That was kind of 2 in 1 question, but I want you to really think about these questions, write them down if you can. These can be journal prompts for you. Like, this can be a whole time where you really sit down and you take time to kind of deep dive into yourself, connect with yourself, because that's really my goal, is self-growth on this podcast. So in any sense that is, I hope you can really take something away from this for yourself. Second question, what is your biggest goal you have, and do you have a plan to get there? And I have a quote from Atomic Habits, actually. It's, failing to plan is planning to fail. I love that quote. I think it's very resonates with me because I'm very type A, like I plan everything. So to a T. Of course, you guys may or may not be planners, but I think having a plan is really important to kind of keep yourself going in the right direction. So before we get really started into the juicy, valuable stuff of today's episode, I wanted to come from a place of vulnerability with you guys and tell you why I really wanted to talk about this with you guys and have a big passion in talking about this. I would say recently this has really been speaking to me because the last, honestly, I'd say since March, like mid-March, I have just not been myself in a sense. I've been really stuck in this funk, even trying to pull myself out of it. I was feeling so stuck. I was feeling so low. Even if I wasn't like really feeling that way, I was just like in kind of a trance in a sense. Like I was just going on steam. I wasn't really driven towards my passions. I really didn't have like that fire, that passion in me. And it hasn't been really until recently. There's been like spurts of it, but throughout this time, it's really only just been like little bits until really recently I've felt this fire relight inside of me, and just the thoughts of, how I have so many goals and so many dreams and I really want to pursue them. And with that, all of these limiting beliefs and thoughts of not being good enough or not being capable of doing these things flood in. And it's so common for people to deal with this. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about this today, because I am a content creator, business owner, online coach, and that really pushes me to be go. And there's no like giving up on what I'm doing, because there's really nothing else for me. Honestly, like what I'm doing is like my passion. I'm holding on to this thing. Honestly, YouTube is like probably one of the biggest things of mine that I'm so passionate about. And obviously sharing like my knowledge and fitness and everything like that through my YouTube as well, but just creating and helping other people through my content on specifically YouTube, but obviously I have other platforms too. But sometimes it's just really hard to get out of my head when it comes to all of that, even though I just push myself past it and be like, okay, this is just stupid stuff that's flowing in your head. It's not real. And it's taken me a long time to really just be like, I'm not even listening to that. I'm over here. And reading these books, honestly, have been such a game changer. Like all like self-growth, self-development books, I love. Sometimes it's a hard read. It's not necessarily fun all the time because it's just a lot to take in, but they're so beneficial. If you do not read self-development books, I highly recommend for you to start, even if it's just with one, small one even, because that has been a whole game changer in my life and really pushing me past this limiting mindset. So that is a little bit about why I wanted to talk to you guys about this today, because I deal with this all the time, especially with my goals and my dreams. I'm constantly like literally battling myself in the hopes to progress and just continue going in the direction I want to go. And it can be really hard. So I wanted to kind of make a guide for you and some tips on how to develop a mindset that is strong enough to combat all of these other factors, you know? First, we are going to talk about the outside factors, because I think we need to get this done with first, because this is the not so prominent factors, I guess. Like a lot of the times outside factors can affect you and your growth and opportunities and everything like that. But I think the internal and like you to you work and your relationship with yourself is usually something that is a lot bigger than the outside factors. So as you're growing up, you are taught so many different things. You're taught or told how you're supposed to believe. You are told this and this and this, and a ton of it's contradicting a lot of the time. And a lot of the time you're just basically like, okay, I have to believe this because these are what my parents told me. And it's so ingrained into your subconscious because of the things that have happened in your life, because of things people have said, anything like that. It is so ingrained into your mind that even when you're not thinking about it consciously, it's always in your subconscious. And I think the subconscious is really where you have to hack when it comes to any type of growth. You have to really rewire your subconscious to be able to progress further into your life without having these predisposed beliefs and factors. Everyone has a lot of different childhoods, whether your childhood was more traumatic or it was from a loving household or it was from a not so loving household. No matter what your childhood looked like, you kind of develop who you are based off of that. And if you allow that to be a negative thing, if you allow yourself to attach to these negative factors of you growing up and learning certain things around you, that is who you're going to be. You cannot let that happen. I have a couple quotes from You Are a Bad Booty to read to you guys. I highly recommend this book. This is really about a lot of subconscious things, and it's just breaking down those barriers, those walls that are built from literally just living and having the world tell you so many things. It is really like rooting back to your subconscious and rewiring it to progress into who you really are. Page 20. It's not your fault. You're messed up. I'm going to change that word. It's your fault that you stay messed up. And this, again, relates to what I was just saying. If you grow up in a toxic household and you continue those toxic traits into your own relationships in the future, that is on you. Now, please do not hear that and think that I'm saying that you do not have the ability, and there's a word I'm trying to figure out and I cannot think of it, but the ability to have had that affect you. But I'm saying that you cannot allow that to continue to keep affecting you. If you know that's something that affects you, you need to figure that out. You can't just accept that, oh, this happened, so I'm gonna continue to act like this, knowing that it's not a positive thing for you in your life, because that is literally just giving a negative experience or a negative person or a negative thing someone said to you the power over your life. Do not give negative things power over your life. Do not let those negative things define you and who you are and who you are going to become. You got to continue to progress, get better, recognize those things, and figure out what to do to change those. All right, page 21. Most people are living in an illusion based on someone else's beliefs. From literally the time we are born, we are told so many different things by so many different people, and we are literally programmed to just believe what people tell us, believe the people that are put in our life are being truthful, honest, and even though they may have the best intentions, that they do not know everything, okay? And everyone's experience in life is different. So advice they may give you does not mean it's relevant to your life just because it's relevant to theirs or it's how they would handle something, etc. Don't let these predisposed beliefs that are given to you literally at childhood continue to rule your life. Okay, page 23. Our subconscious mind thinks it's in control, but it isn't. Our subconscious mind doesn't think about anything, but is in control. That one really stood out to me, okay? Because a lot of the time, you're like, I know I'm doing this, I'm doing everything right. And internally, you don't even recognize it, but you're actually burning yourself out. You're doing things in a not as beneficial way to what you're trying to do because of all of these beliefs that are stacked up, and you are just wired to do things like that. Okay, next quote, we have page 25. No matter what you say you want, if you got an underlying subconscious belief that it's going to cause you pain or isn't available to you, you either A, won't let yourself have it, or B, you will let yourself have it, but then you will be real messed up about it, and then you'll go off and lose it anyway. I mean, this is just proof that it's like, if you think you don't deserve something, then you're not going to get it. And if you think you don't deserve something and you end up getting it by any chance, then you will likely lose it because, again, you still don't think that you deserve it. This is a huge reason why people push people away. They think they're not able to love somebody, and so they literally allow themselves to just not be able to love somebody. And there's many other examples of this, like not starting a passion project that you have because you think it's not going to go anywhere. You think you have no impact with it. You'll never have impact if you believe that you don't have impact. Alrighty, page 26, and then we have one more after this, okay? I promise I'm going to stop reading to you guys. Page 26. The first key to ridding yourself of limiting subconscious beliefs is to become aware of them. Because until you're aware of what's really going on, you'll keep working with your conscious mind. Think you need to paint the porch to solve the problem that's buried far beneath dead skunk removal in your subconscious, which is an exercise in futility. I added my own little note to this too, which I'll read. You tried to mask it by something that isn't the true issue. This is so common. You think you need to do this to take care of something, but instead there's actually something way deeper that you need to take care of in order to get to this next level. A lot of the times, if you have any issues, there's a deeper root cause to those issues. Okay, page 27. Practice stepping aside. Notice what's happening in the dysfunctional areas of your life and strengthen your almighty awareness muscle. What they're talking about is strengthening the ability to be aware of things within yourself, things within your surroundings, or habits, or anything like that, to be able to take the first step to change those things. Because the first step to growth is awareness, as my boyfriend loves to say. Something that I think it is incredibly important to talk about when talking about limiting yourself or being in your own way is, are other people in your life in your way? If you just answered yes, then you need to reevaluate who you're around. It is very common to have people in your life that will continue to try to bring you down, bring you to their level, because misery loves company, okay? But if you know that you're a more evolved person, more passionate person, someone that is really trying to grow and become better, you need to make sure you have people around you that will continue to support you and push you and don't stunt that growth. Because if you have a group of people or one person around you that is pulling you back, you are never going to be able to grow if you allow them to continue to do that. Now, this can look like boundaries, or this can look like cutting someone out. There's two very different ways you can deal with this. I mean, it depends on the situation, obviously, but it's also, who do you really want to keep in your life? And would you want to keep someone in your life that does not want the best for you, that doesn't want you to grow, or is a bad company? Are these people trying to get you to do things that you don't necessarily want to do, that don't align with who you want to be? Are these people just kind of holding you stagnant in this place of lack of growth? You need people around you that are going to push you to grow, push you to be better, and like constantly pull you with them in growth. People that want to grow as well. Because if you're around people that don't want to grow, what makes you think that you're going to grow? If you grow, you're going to grow out of that relationship. In the other case, people will try to not allow you to grow, and that's a whole nother situation. Why are you keeping people around you that don't believe in you? Because you have to put so much effort into believing in yourself. But if you are putting effort into believing in yourself and there's people around you that are like, well, you can't do that, then you're going to be consistently trying to fight them and also fight yourself in your mind. Like, you don't have energy for both. You have to pick and choose your battles, and you're always going to have yourself to battle with at a certain extent. So you can't have other people around you that you're going to have to battle with as well. At the end of the day, you are the only one that can stop you from doing something. Even if other people are trying to pull you back, you're the only one that can actually stop yourself from doing that thing. Why are you allowing yourself to do that? If you know that you have this vision, this goal, this passion in your mind, and you know that's set out for you, why are you letting yourself not go for that? Why are you pulling yourself back into a place of lack of? This world is so full of possibilities to be sitting in your bed at night and literally being like, I know I could be doing this, I know I would love this, but not going and doing it. You are truly your biggest critic or your biggest cheerleader. You have to choose which one of those things are you going to be. Because if you are constantly critiquing every little thing you do and not allowing yourself to grow, then you're never going to grow. If you are constantly pulling yourself down and letting all these outside factors come in and prohibit you from growing, then you'll be stuck. Do you want to be stuck? If you clicked on this video or clicked on this podcast episode, you don't want to be stuck. Okay? You're trying to get unstuck, if anything. So why are you using your mind against yourself and allowing your mind to control you and continue to put you in this stuck position? I know it's crazy to think, but you're in control of your own mind. Can we just pause? I know it's crazy to really think about that, but you are in full control of what you were thinking and what you were doing with those thoughts. You can allow yourself to stop thinking about things. You can allow yourself to be like, no, That's boundaries. My boundaries are I'm not talking negatively about myself. I'm not going to ever be saying that I'm not capable of doing something that I want to do. I'm not limiting myself. Those are all things that you have to put a boundary on yourself, because you put boundaries on these people around you. Why are you not putting boundaries on yourself if you know that a lot of the times, you're always with yourself? You can't just like leave and stop hanging out with yourself. You can't do that. So if you have boundaries for other people, you need to have boundaries for yourself, because if you don't, then you're gonna let your brain and let your mind just run, because your mind will try to play tricks on you sometimes and try to make you think that you are less than, that you're not good enough to do something, that you're not cool enough to have an opportunity, you're not pretty enough to have a boyfriend. Whatever the case, your mind will likely in your lifetime try to tell you these lies, so that you are limited. If you start feeling these thoughts of, ugh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to, no. Who are you talking to like that? Would you go around and like tell your best friend if you really cared about them? You can't do that. You're not gonna be able to do that. If they said, I really wanna open a nail salon and do people's nails for a living and eventually like scale it and make other franchises of my nail salon, would you be like, I don't think you can do that? Likely you wouldn't. I'd hope you don't. And if you were thinking, oh, that might actually be a possibility of me saying that, then that's a whole nother video topic we're not gonna get into. But but if you wouldn't say that to your best friend or your significant other, why are you saying that to yourself? Because you need to be your own best friend when it comes to pulling yourself up, because at the end of the day, you always got you. You always got to have your back. A huge way to consistently grow from the place that you were or are is focusing on self-improvement. I'm gonna say it again. Reading self-improvement books is so amazing. Connecting with yourself, having time alone, having time to just think, having quiet time, having time away from electronics. I could definitely do better at that, okay? But I'm working on it. Pushing yourself to go take care of yourself, whether that's go to the gym, go to yoga, go to Pilates, go on a walk, whatever that looks like for you, taking care of yourself. Eating some yummy food that's nutritious and fulfilling for your body. Take care of yourself, because you have to nourish yourself and nourish your soul in order to grow. If you're not watering a plant, it's not gonna grow. It's likely going to shrivel, It's not gonna grow, it's gonna get smaller. Think of yourself as a plant. Did you water yourself today? Deeper into that whole plant analogy, some plants need more sun and more water than other plants. What do you need different than the people around you? Maybe your friends don't really need to sit down and take an hour just to like breathe and journal and read and just spend time with themselves, but maybe you do, and that's okay. That's what your plant needs, okay? So take care of that and honor that. Do you have habits and systems in place to help you grow towards your goals? Because if you don't have a system and you don't have habits, then it will be so much harder for you to push yourself towards like a next level in your mental or your career or any goal you have in your life, because you don't have like systems in place to get you there. Now we're gonna pull out another book. This is Atomic Habits. I just took the cover off, okay? This book, I'm on my second time reading it. I'm over halfway through. This book is so good. This is probably the book I recommend the most to people. If you read any self-development book, go get it, please, okay? Because there's so much goodness in this book and it's helpful to anyone. You don't have to be, super into like wellness or even self-growth, okay? But just if you have a life and you are trying to work to accomplish anything or just live a better life, okay. All right, I have some more quotes to read, of course. So page 13, searching for a tiny margin of improvement in everything you do. You do not have to do something crazy every single day. You can start small and increase things, even if it's 1% better every day, which is another quote I'm going to read. But you don't have to just search for these huge things you can do to change your life. Every little habit, every little step you take is a step in the right direction or the wrong direction. You have to make sure that it's a step in the right direction. Next quote is page 15. If you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. 1% better a day. Whatever that is, just something that you can do better the next day and the next day, and eventually you're that much better incrementally and not trying to like force it all in one day. Because a lot of times if you try to force yourself to do 10 new habits in one day, it's not gonna last, okay? You maybe have had a productive day, but it's not gonna be habits, you know? Alrighty, page 16 now. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Okay, so that literally shows you 1% better every day means so much better by the end of the year, by the end of the week, by the end of the month, whatever. You're getting so much better, even though it's just a little tiny thing every single day. It's not impossible. Like, it's very in reach for you. It's very in reach for you, and you can do it. Page 17. A slight change in your daily habits can guide your life in a very different destination, or to a very different destination, sorry. Again, it's step this way or step this way. Now, if you continue step this way, you're gonna be way over here. You're gonna be living your dream life eventually. If you continue step this way, you're gonna be like, I don't even recognize myself anymore. I don't even know how to get over here at this point because you're so far away from your goals. Last quote right now is page 18. Success is the product of daily habits. Again, little things that multiply to make bigger impact within your life. The next thing we're going to talk about is how. Okay, how are you going to do this? Now, in order to do these habits, in order to become better, not just talk about it, not just think about it, you have to have a system in place for yourself. You have to be continuously putting in the effort in these goals and these habits to see any results, because it takes time. Unfortunately, it may feel like it takes way longer than you thought or you wanted. And that's normal and it sucks, but it's part of life. It's part of the growth process, really, is just the process of that growth. The process of getting to your goal is really what is growing you as a person. It's not this other side. It's not about the destination, it's about the process between. Now, are you giving up before you are even to your destination? Now, it is so easy to see like where you're starting and then destination and be like, oh my gosh, it's so far away. But if you think of like each step is closer to that destination. You can't think about like jumping. You're not jumping, you're stepping, okay? Each day progress to get to that destination. While you're stepping in that direction, you don't know like where you are on the map between start and finish. You could literally be like 75% to your destination, and if you give up now, you're going to go back to zero. You have to persevere. You have to break through this mindset of it's taking too long. I don't see results. You may not see the results right away, but you will if you keep persevering through it. Okay, of course, more quotes. Page 21. Habits need to persist long enough to break through this plateau. Just like I was saying, you have to break through a mold. You can't just like walk over here and be done. You have to push yourself in order to get through it. The process is not going to always be easy, okay? And if you can break through this point of feeling low, feeling you want to give up, and pushing yourself to get back up and go, you can do it. You can do anything. That is all up to your mindset. That's all up to the way you continue to persevere. If you're on video, look how cute this is. She literally just tucked herself up between the pillows. It can take years before it happens all at once. This is still on page 21, by the way. This is for real. People see people that are, you know, successful and they think, oh, wow, they just popped out being successful. They didn't see the process it took to get there. They didn't see the sleepless nights, the crying, the planning, the not so pretty, cute behind the scenes. They didn't see that. All they saw was the finish line and them crossing. They didn't see the whole time, okay? You have to keep that in mind. You're going to have that process too. Everyone has to have that process. Anything good in life does not come easy, okay? And if it is worth it, then it's probably going to be a little difficult. Your dreams may be so big to you, but in real aspect, they are completely possible and within your reach. And you have that dream for a reason at the end of the day. Like I always tell myself, like I have all these visions, all these dreams. It's honestly kind of stressful. But at the end of the day, I have these visions for a reason. Like I was given this passion and this dream that's bigger than me for a reason. And I'm not going to just like let myself roll over and be like, well, I'm tired today. Okay. I just got home a couple hours ago from a 8-hour almost photo shoot day. I'm tired. I want this makeup off my face. I want to lay in bed and just watch a show and relax. But I knew this right here, talking to you guys, giving you guys life and help and giving you some water to help your plant grow is more important than me just relaxing for a little bit. I'm going to relax right after this. Trust and believe I'm about to go get all this makeup off and I'm gonna get in bed. But this is important, and this is just one of the little uncomfortable things that you may have to do from time to time to get you to the place that you want to be. Push through all of the things in you saying, I'm tired, saying you're not capable of this. Now listen, I'll talk a whole nother episode about balance, because balance is real and balance is important, but I'm talking about when you're just feeling like, I could do it, but I just don't feel like it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about when you're exhausted and you're like, no, I have to do this. No, like, you need rest, okay? You need rest, you do. But perseverance through the demotivation or the laziness, honestly. You know what I mean? I hope you guys loved this episode. And if you did, let me know. If you're on YouTube, comment. I would appreciate so much if you were on Apple Podcasts to leave me a review, or if you're on Spotify Podcasts to leave me a rate. It really helps my podcast, especially, it's still new. It's still up and coming. So it helps my podcast, algorithm stuff and whatnot. I hope you very much enjoyed this and got something from it. I hope you might have taken some notes. I don't know. But I will talk to you guys in my next episode. I plan on doing weekly episodes. I'm telling you guys this so you can hold me to it. I'm going to watch this episode back if I ever just feel like, bleh, I don't want to do it today. Okay, anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate you guys for watching or listening, and I will talk to you guys soon. Mwah!